Welcome once again to Channel 18. We're glad to be back. We had 2 weeks vacation, as you probably know. So we hope that we have a good show for you and that you'll go back to us and continue to enjoy our programs. And we're going to start off this morning with Barbara Ann Foley. And Barbara Ann has a lot of little things she wants to talk about. And then she's going to get into a Cape Verdean dinner. So Barbara Ann, why don't you take over?
Thanks, Paul. Well, everybody should have their newsletter for January, February by now. If you don't, you can certainly come always and pick one up at our COA desk. And if you don't, it probably by now means that either you're off the list for some reason or you might want to come on the list, and you can certainly just fill out a form for us. It's a free newsletter, and we would love to have you join our list. Then you'll know and be up to date on everything that's going on.
It's true. There's an awful lot in there.
It's packed, and it seems like every time I do one, it gets more packed. So we had a reschedule of our fire department is going to be now coming on January 21st at lunchtime, at the lunch actually, and they are going to be doing a really interesting presentation on past fires. We had, as many of you have lived through, the time of the Coconut Grove fire, the Von Damme fire, the Worcester fire. What they're going to do is show you those, and then they're going to talk about all of the fire things that they've learned from those and how they have better fire prevention today. So I think that'll be a really interesting program. Unfortunately, a long time ago firefighter passed away the time that they were going to do it last, so we've rescheduled it, and it's on January 21st at lunch. If you want to see that and have lunch, you need to make a reservation by 11 the day before. If you simply just want to come and listen to the program and not have lunch, that's okay too. But you need to make a reservation if you want the lunch. A very big news, I'm trying to say it every time that we're on this program. Income tax season is here, believe it or not. January 26th is the first day of making the income tax appointments, and the first appointment begins on February 2nd this year. But the big news is it's not going to be here. Last year, you may recall, we had Chatham joining us here down back by my office in room 1. And fortunately for the program, it's run by AARP Foundation. They obviously want to be able to do as many tax returns as possible. And they have 5 counselors for Harwich and 5 for Chatham, if you can believe it, which is wonderful. And Chatham the community center was able to offer them a room the size of our multi-purpose room for that whole season from February to April for free.
Wow.
So we will be going to Chatham this year, needless to say, and we are limited because of logistics to Mondays and Wednesdays. What I need to tell you is Mondays only are going to be van people. So if you drive, but Monday works for you, we will pick you up in our van at your door and take you to Chatham, have your appointment, and bring you back to your home, to your door. So you don't have to be a normal van rider, but Mondays will be van-only people. So like I said, you can do Monday if that works better for your schedule, and we will pick you up either way at your door and bring you back. They will begin early, I believe it's 8:30 in the morning, but when you call, starting on January 26th, all we need is your name and phone number. And then we have a wonderful volunteer, Joan McCarty, who is going to call you back and get the day that you want, the time that you want, and give you some information. So when you do call, please just give the receptionist your name and phone number, and then we'll get the details after we get that call. As of January 26th, sadly, I feel like the bad guy here, but I have to be fiscally responsible, and we have blood pressure currently on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday clinics, Wednesdays with our town nurse. Mondays, we've been having a great difficulty in getting blood pressure nurses. If you don't know, they're wonderful volunteers that come to us, and their companies pay them to come, whether it's, from Beacon Hospice or Epic or Beata. They come and they're here for an hour and a half. Well, Mondays are just not working out. It's each of the people that had come have had something come up and they're not able to. So we are going after January 26th, the beginning of February, we will have blood pressure only on Wednesday and Friday. And you obviously can always be a walk-in at the fire department if you need it taken more regularly than those 2 days. But I would urge you, to, if you're interested in this clinic, to keep coming on Wednesdays and Fridays, because the same thing at some point may happen with the Friday day as well. So we need to have the numbers, and on Mondays it was 1 or 2 people at most. And I can't put in our per diem nurses to do that. It's not cost effective. So I apologize. I'm sorry I'm being the bearer of bad news, but we do have 2 other opportunities for you, and hopefully that will work for everybody's schedule. We have a really great volunteer breakfast coming up on January 23rd at 9 in the morning. You need to let us know that you're coming and pre-register by no later than January 22nd. This is all, by the way, in your newsletter, so I'm just kind of giving you quick hits so that you can go and circle it in your newsletter. Rick Anderson, who is not new to us really anymore, but is new to some of our volunteers. They've kind of talked to him on the phone, but haven't really ever met him in person, is kind of the reason that we're doing this, so that the volunteer coordinator and our volunteers all get to know each other. So that breakfast is a full hot breakfast, and it again was on January 23rd at 9 in the morning, and RSVP is required. Some of you may remember we had a pretty active cribbage group for a while here, and for a number of reasons of people moving away and some people passing away and other issues, the program kind of went away for a while. Well, it's back and it's fast and furious, and it's starting up on January 8th this week at 1 o'clock. If you can call Rick at our Counts on Aging number and let our volunteer coordinator, Rick, who's at extension 13, know that you want to come. We want to make sure we have enough boards for people in case they don't have their own. And what we're going to do is organize on that day, and then cribbage will be on a set day of the week that works for the building. And he'll tell you all about that. But that's the organizing day, is January 8th at 1. Another new program, we have a bunch of new ones this month, is our Trivia Challenge. Now I've had people, it's going to be on Fridays starting on February 6th at 1:30, and we would like to know that you're coming just so we have enough, enough people to start it. And you can call that, again, 430-7550 number. I've had a number of people say to me, I'm not very good at trivia. And I said, well, you know what? You don't have to be good at trivia. Sometimes it's fun to just come and listen and laugh, because sometimes the answers are ridiculous or the questions are so far out you're thinking, oh my God, I think I actually remember that. We've been doing them at lunchtime for a while now, and some of the questions, for me, go back to like childhood of watching various shows, and it'll ask about a character in a show or something, and everybody laughs because they remember. Or it'll ask something about a country and what is the capital, and everybody shouts out a city, but it's the wrong thing, it's not the capital, and then we all get a laugh. So my point is, you don't have to know all the answers. In fact, you don't have to know any of the answers. You can come and listen and have fun. If you actually like trivia, we definitely would love to have you come, because it's going to be a fun group. I'm going to start it, but I'm hoping that we can get a courageous volunteer that'll take it over for me. Not a difficult thing. We have probably 15 places to pull trivia from that you can read from.
Well, it does sound like a good thing. It is a lot of fun.
Well, and it's now become kind of hip at a lot of the restaurants. They have, it used to be that, not bingo, what was the other one they had? I forget what it was called, but it was like that, a numbers game. And then they kind of stopped that, and now they're having trivia nights, and some of the restaurants are doing craft nights. It's been very interesting to watch transition going on. But trivia can really involve a lot of different ages and a lot of different fun, and we would like to be able to engage everybody. So that'll begin on Fridays, trying to put in some more afternoon activities, and that'll start on February 6th. Another new program next week, January 14th at 9:30, always in room 5. I had a little, we've been having a fun banter, this veteran and myself. who said to me, he drives the Friends minibus, "Hey, how come I can't get a free cup of coffee around here? You know, don't you think a veteran deserves a free cup of coffee?" And I said, "Well, you know, I do believe that a veteran deserves that, but I have to tell you, the dollar that we put for the machine doesn't really even break even. We're always sort of behind the eight ball. So we can't lower it. I'm really sorry." So anyway, that got us to thinking, and we were talking amongst ourselves, and I said, you know, we should offer a free cup of coffee to veterans. So we are starting a new free coffee hour for veterans only on January 14th at 9:30 in room 5, and it will be every week. So we will have something for your sweet tooth, and it's really, there's no organization really to it other than we're providing the room and the little sweet thing and coffee and tea. And you guys and women do the rest. So if we have wax and waves or vets, and doesn't matter if you were in war or not, if you're a veteran, and we're not doing the check-in ID at the door, it's going to be on the honor system. We would love to have you. And it's not far from Will Remillard, the Veterans Agent's office. It's in room 5, literally just down the hall. So please join us on January 14th at 9:30. And the last announcement before my big activity is on February 9th, we are going to be having a senior safety day, kind of like a health fair idea, where we will have in the room a bunch of round tables, and it'll be, I think I said before in this program, someone equated it to speed dating. You'll be at a table with 6 of you and a professional who will be talking about home safety, for example. And then when he or she is done, you will stay at your table, and that professional will move to another table, and someone from the police department will come to your table. And then that person will move, and someone from fire will come to your table, et cetera, until all of the speakers are done. That way, anybody that has any hearing issues will not have an issue, 1. And 2, it may be that different people at the table have different questions than the people at the next table will. So we're hoping that we kind of capture what everybody is hoping to hear. And then on the perimeter of the multipurpose room will be vendor tables of those people. So it might be medical alarms that has, you know, the Lifeline button and information about that, or it might be the fire department updating your file of life and putting info into the computer. So you can visit the tables around the perimeter and then sit at your table and be able to get your questions answered. And it's all about safety. So it'll be home safety, police safety, fire safety, personal safety, medication safety with a nurse practitioner, a balance safety, and Alzheimer's safety. So pretty much nothing in there you can't have something that you would need to learn new. So we're hoping that you'll all join us. Again, that's February 9th, 9:30 to 11:30. And that finally brings me to my big activity we're very excited about. Many of you know what Mardi Gras is, and Carnival in many different countries. We at the Community Center are going to have our own Carnival, and it's going to be Cape Verdean style. Well, what does that mean? First, we're going to be having a fundraiser. What I mean by that is we are going to be having a clothing drive, if you will, or donation box that you can come and bring clothing to, new or gently used, into a big bin that we will have, much like people did with the Santa Toys for Tots. And you'll bring clothes in, and then we'll have another locked box for any monetary donations. What we're going to do, you may know that in the Cape Verde Islands, they have an island called Fogo. And they are the ones that had the volcano that erupted and destroyed 2 Catholic churches, completely leveled them, had really horrible, horrible devastation. Harwich has a really great high community participation of Cape Verdean folks that live here. And we want to help give back, in addition to having fun and educating people. So we will be having the collection of both money and the clothing. Why the money? Well, I found out, this is awful, that the Portuguese government will not allow you to send something to the islands of Cape Verde without the recipients having to pay $120. And where does that go? Right into the pockets of that government.
Sure.
So, you know, we can't fix the government. So what we don't want to happen is to send a bunch of clothes that they really do need and then them not to ever be able to receive them because they don't have the money. So the money is to be able to pay we're going to have somebody who's literally going to the islands on a plane. They are going to take the money and bring it to this particular island so that they can receive the donation container that we will send.
It's an odd thing.
It's ridiculous,
Yes.
but it's kind of like the Red Cross idea down there, except instead of Red Cross, it's their government. And Red Cross here gives things, you know, and takes things to bring to other people who are in need or have had a fire or what have you. Well, they don't give anything, apparently, unfortunately. So if you send a container, and I don't mean a container ship container, but a container box or something like that, it's $120 for them to receive it. So
It's a lot of money for people who need something.
absolutely, that they can't afford it. And I thought, I wonder where half of those donations go, you know, that people don't even know that they're receiving. So anyway, we are going to do both ends. We are going to have some munch soup, and you're going to say, what the heck is that? Well, I'm not going to tell you. You have to come and find out. You're going to have something that looks like kind of like a cornbread that you dip into soup. It will be all Cape Verdean food, and we will be decorating you know, bright colors and everything. It's very similar to Mardi Gras in the celebration part of it. We have CDs of a woman who is local to Massachusetts, beautiful voice who sings beautiful Cape Verde songs, and she's originally family from there, so she's, I think, living in New Bedford now. Couldn't be with us in person, unfortunately, but we do have her CD. So we will have music, we will have fun, we will have the donation bin, we will be talking, and you'll see some beautiful photos and pictures of both the island and the people and things that they do, as well as the volcano. And as terrible as it is to say, the beautiful eruption, the colors that Al has in these pictures, Al Rainio, are just amazing, brilliant oranges and burnt black in between. Anyway, you have to see them.
Were there any deaths as a result of that
Yeah,
volcano?
unfortunately, they not so much in, you know, lava rolling over people kind of thing, but people breathing in stuff, and they've had some people very sick as a result as well. But always the rainbow after the rain, they have these children found the lava rocks and, you know, kind of shaved them off into round pieces and used made little houses, and for thatched roofs used what looks like toothpicks. You have to see these things. You're never going to believe, and I'm doing a total injustice to what they look like. They are adorable. And Al said they sell them for like less than $1. So we will have artifacts also that you will be able to see from those islands. And you live in Harwich. So if you live in Harwich, you need to know about both the Cape Verdean people and the island. And their culture, because they're part of our culture. So we want to have a nice cultural festival, if you want to call it that. We're calling it Carnival because it's on February 19th. It'll be from 11 to 2. And that's Carnival, United States and island-wise time, including Mardi Gras. So please join us on that day. We would love to have you. You can call and make a reservation. We do need reservations for food, if nothing else. But we'd love to have you and help to educate people and have a lot of fun. We want you to come in your brightest colors. So not to be wearing what I'm wearing or what Paul's wearing, because we have boring winter colors on right now. We want bright yellows, bright pinks, aqua, coral, you name it. Bright, bright, bright colors. Your funnest hats, fanciest hats, whatever you want to wear, the more outrageous, the better. And we will have some Mardi Gras type of beads and some other things to bring and give to people. So please join us. I am done talking. You're probably tired of hearing my voice, but I wanted to catch you up on some of the little tidbits so that you can check out your newsletter. We have a full page on Carnival, full half page on the Safety Day Fair, and the front page has the income tax information. So everything is in the newsletter. Please check your newsletter out. If you don't have one, again, come and get one or sign up and we'll mail you one. Thanks for tuning in.
Well, thank you very much,
You're
Barbara
welcome.
Ann.
Thanks for
It's
having
very
me.
interesting. And you kind of summarized your program, so I won't do that.
Thank you.
Best luck with your carnival.
Thanks.